Okay. Now, remember we said earlier what happens if you just improve the classroom instruction by addressing those 5 big ideas? If you provide differentiated instruction, is that big up here?
Yes.
Yeah. You reduce the even further. So the next step in this process is that those kids who have been identified as being at risk, something different happens to them within the general ed classroom before anything else kicks in. It's teacher ownership. It's the general ed. Now that teacher might need professional development to do that. One of the things, remember I told you those 19 pilots, those 19 sites that were designated as model RTI sites? One of the things they indicated was that after they got their student support team in place, services. After they got their version of the student services team running efficiently, the next thing they had to do was professional development on differentiated instruction, so that there could be that first level of intervention right within the classroom before you needed to get a specialist involved. Okay, so here's one of the printouts that a teacher might get after they've done their screening. These kids, this is the 2nd grade, and it's a reading, so each one of these kids did those 3-minute readings, 3 1-minute readings. And our kids in the white, those are the kids, if we lock them in the closet with War and Peace, they come out and everything's cool. These are excellent readers. Our kids, we don't have any blue kids here. Our blue kids are very good readers. Our green kids are average, typical readers. And then we don't have any yellow kids, but those yellow kids they're just a little below average. And our pink kids, this looks pink, but it's red on the printout. Those are kids who are deemed based on to be at significant risk, based on their reading fluency scores. Now, if we're talking about differentiated instruction, and I know you folks have 90-minute literacy blocks, right? Mm-hmm. That's perfect. You're halfway there. This is how we also have 90-minute literacy blocks. This is how teachers are structuring their 90-minute literacy blocks. They're using this as a blueprint. So the kids are provided with whole group instruction in terms of reading. Then these folks have some higher order differentiated activities, right? Because they're more independent and are able to do it. These kids have one set of activities, and I'm going to check in with these folks and provide a little time. And then these folks here might be, depending on what I'm doing, might be getting just a revisit of what we did this morning, just to kind of cement it or to kind of present it in a different way. Or they might be getting something totally different to take another approach to presenting the information I was presenting. So that they're using these tables here to group their classrooms. Now, for a long time, we thought it was a mortal sin to do homogeneous grouping. And it is a mortal sin depending on the topic. But in reading, the 20 years of research shows that when you group kids with similar reading challenges, you get bigger growth than heterogeneous grouping. This is for reading. We don't know about math. We certainly don't know about social studies, history, science, and all of this. This is reading. So it's okay to have these kids here because the research tells us that we're going to get a bigger bang for our buck. No, it was a real blow. The research also showed that a group of 3 kids results in greater reading gains than one-to-one instruction. How many do you folks ever get requests from parents for a one-to-one paraeducator to work with students? We hear that quite a bit. It's not in their best interest. What do you think the dynamic is behind that? Why does a youngster make greater gains when he's in a group of 3, getting instruction, group of 3 with kids with similar challenges, than one-to-one instruction from a teacher or a paraprofessional?
They learn from each other.
Yeah. They got more models. They learn from each other. These kids are social animals. God, can you imagine? I'm going to see Mrs. Smith. Sometimes that's how kids feel, but I'm going to see Mrs. Smith with Billy and Joe, my 2 friends.